So I opted to do a little test with my windlass hammer here. And in a nutshell, this one came to me secondhand, and it was in a slightly less beat up state when I got it. I didn't realize that this shaft was cracked. Maybe it was or wasn't. I'm not sure. In any case, it is now a little more cracked than it was, and the hammer seems to have a slight bow to it. But what I did is I beat it into a water heater. And first I took the hammer section, and it made some pretty deep strikes. It penetrated basically the first layer of sheet metal, which isn't terribly thick, and it made some dents underneath. This little point at the end did a good job, I guess, of maybe throwing some harassing type blows, but I don't know that I could really get a lot of purchase or a lot of oomph behind actually doing much. But this crow's beak here, man, that penetrated. I have stabbed that water heater a few times and been pretty unable to get through the sheet metal in the inner tank. And this crow's beak in the first strike, granted it was with a reasonable amount of force, just really punctured in. If this were a suit of armor, which I'd imagine may be more difficult or less difficult to get through, the sheet metal on the water heater is reasonably thick because it's under pressure and it shouldn't blow up. But anyway, this crow's beak penetrated pretty deep, to the point where I don't know if it could kill someone without it being in the right spot, but it sure would piss them off or wound them. So it did the job, and when I struck into the top section, that's when the beak started to deform slightly, but still it's pretty straight and in pretty good shape, and overall I'd have to say I'm reasonably impressed with how well this worked. Given that it's from Windlass, and maybe I'm often thinking this, but it's relatively inexpensive stuff, and so I don't really expect a whole lot from it, this certainly performed. And I'm guessing that the leather wrapping that the previous owner put on here aided in maintaining its shape, along with the langets, I suppose. I think that's what they're called, serving their function and keeping the whole thing from falling apart terribly. What I noticed is just a crack on the inner piece here. It doesn't look like the whole shaft is broken or anything, but anyway, it did the job. I was reasonably impressed. So if you're thinking about getting a windlass hammer to take out water heaters in your backyard, I can say, well, it's a time-consuming process. It's still enjoyable. Anyway, that's all. Cheers, and thanks for watching.